What's going on, guys? This is a donation request. This is for Dave. This continues on the Sparks journey. This is the song Tips for Teens from 1981. So this is off of their 10th album, Womp That Sucker. And it says, and this opens the album, this track. It says, Sparks have recorded Number One in Heaven and Terminal Jive, which was the next album after Number One in Heaven, with Giorgio Moroder. Both had been relatively successful, but the brothers had found the electronic equipment they had adopted for their new sound too cumbersome to tour with. Womp That Sucker was consequently recorded without Giorgio Moroder at Musicland Studios, Munich, but still in association with Giorgio Moroder Enterprises. The next 4 albums were recorded as part of the same partnership. The producer for the album was Mac, who had recently produced Queen's album The Game, which is pretty cool. The album marks Sparks' return proper to a rock sound after their previous 2 disco efforts. To complement the Male Brothers, the backing band Bates Motel was hired, consisting of guitarist Bob Hague, bassist Leslie Boehm, and drummer David Kendrick. Together, this lineup would record the next 4 Sparks albums, concluding with Music That You Can Dance To in 1986. Okay, so this is probably what you're talking about. This begins the new wave, probably. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, and Tips for Teens opens it up, and we're doing the official video. All right, let's check it out. Bam.
I've got a snapshot of your Aunt Maureen. She's 90 and you're a teen. I'm trying to cheer you up. Don't be so mean. Don't be so mean. Crash, bam, now you're looking good. Tip top, now you're feeling good. Once more, here's your Aunt Maureen. Don't you feel good? Don't you feel good? Tips for teens, tips for teens. The kind you don't see in magazines. Tips for teens, tips for teens. The kind you don't see on TV screens. Tips for teens, tips for teens.
So we would call this new wave.
Sick to go to work. Soon you will lose all your sits. Tights where there's no longer fit. Jet setters will make their pitch. I told you so. I told you so. Tips for teens. Tips for teens. The kind you don't see in magazines. Tips for teens. Tips for teens. The kind you don't see on TV screens. Tips for teens. Tips for teens. Don't eat that ice cream. Is it vanilla? Give it to me. Don't eat that pastry. What's in the middle? Give it to me. Don't eat that burger. Has it got mayonnaise? Give it to me.
Ew. Mayonnaise, ew. Little synth lead action. Yeah, this is definitely new wave.
Keep that mystique up and we're a D-cup no matter what. Don't need no curry before a very important date. Do I look so knowing and old and wise? Maybe it's those dacron ties. How come you keep asking me for tips or teens? For tips or teens? Crash, bam, now you're looking good. Tip top, now you're feeling good. Once more, here's your Aunt Maureen. Don't you feel good? Don't you feel good? Tips for teens, tips for teens. The kind you don't see in magazines. Tips for teens, tips for teens. The kind you don't see on TV screens. Tips for teens, tips for teens.
weird video. No, I don't see them as related. The video, you know, to the song, but yeah, that was cool. Yeah, this is, yep, already, here we go. Different direction now. Different direction. Bringing back the band kind of sound. I mean, definitely what it said, you know, that kind of rock, you know, just the band sounds. All of a sudden they have a rhythm section again. Like a real rhythm section, not just synths, you know, and that kind of thing. I mean, there's still synths, obviously. There's always going to be because of, the guy's name is Ron, right? There's always going to be because of Ron. Yeah, Ron and Russell, right? But it's there's like the driving force behind it, the guitar, the bass and the drums. That's cool. It's more of a like poppy kind of song. I mean, each time the melodic stuff and the lyrics, stuff like that, has like been kind of poppy, you know, trying to be catchy, trying to be just all of that kind of thing, and nothing intensely complex. You know, it might be weird or goofy or whatever. Might be weird or goofy or whatever, but it's all been basically similar. It's like the backdrop changes. That's what's changing with this band, with these guys, over these, you know, this is only, what, six years, 75 to 81. There you go. Cool. Yeah, dig it. I dig it. This might be a decent era for them. Very cool. All right, awesome. I'll catch you in the next video.